15 rounds, 8 finals, 2 teams, 1 title. Hello and welcome to a grand final edition of Premier Cricket TV. My name is Megan Hustwaite. Great to have your company here on KO Sports. Well, let's crack straight into it. It is grand final week. It is Carlton and KC South Melbourne, and joining me at the desk this week from the Blues, their superstar Brayden. Stepien, welcome.
G'day Megan, how are you?
Good, thank you. Great to have you here. And the coach of the Swans, Carr. Will, congratulations and welcome.
Thanks very much, Megan. Great to be here.
Now, we weren't sure whether I should sit in the middle of you guys this week because it is grand final week. But I guess, first of all, how are we feeling? Brayden, you're part of the Blues title a couple of years ago and you've been perennial finalists. How's the feeling in the Carlton camp this week?
Yeah, it's really good. All the boys are really good last night at training. Everyone got what they needed to get done, and spirits are really high at the Blues, and we're really looking forward to taking on the KC boys this weekend.
Will, it has been a long time between grand finals and titles for the Swans. So it is your first grand final since 1987-88, and the title has been a longer drought than that. So what's the feeling like at the Swans?
Yeah, it has been a little while, but no, it's one of excitement. There's an air of excitement around the group, but it's been reasonably controlled. They're really enjoying the experience and taking it in their stride. It's been great.
Well, we might take a look at a photo that we've got from that grand final because your assistant coach, Damien Fleming, who joined us on the show a few weeks ago, was part of that team. And I'm sure there's going to be a big brigade of Swans people down at the game. Have they been there throughout the final series? Yeah,
we've had great support throughout. So they travelled to the Junction when we took on St Kilda, and also at home, the support at home was terrific. So we're expecting a few to travel out of Cranbourne into the Albert this weekend.
So there we are, having a look at that photo now. So it is their first grand final in 34 years. That pic is from 87-88 when they were last in the grand final with a 17-year-old Damien Fleming. So it's been a long time, as we said, between drinks for the Swans. It's all happening this Saturday at the Albert Ground, the men's one-day final. But let's have a look at the preliminary final results now. We'll start with Carlton and St Kilda, and that was on Saturday at Princes Park. Carlton batting first, and they were able to restrict St Kilda, so we'll talk to Brayden about that shortly. An 86-run victory in the end, convincing winners the Blues. And then the second game on Saturday was out at KC, and Will's Swans were victors over Richmond. And Will, you probably didn't make as many runs as you were hoping to batting first, but you were able to restrict Richmond quite comfortably in the end. Yeah,
I mean, preferably we would have liked something with a 2 in front of it, but you know, Richmond bowled well. The wicket was a little tricky, but certainly we felt that 192 would give our bowling unit something to bowl to if we bowled well, and subsequently they did.
Now, Ash Chandra Singh was back from injury and he shared a 44-run stand with Luke Manders. Tell us a bit about Ash and the unbelievable season he's had.
He just goes from strength to strength, doesn't he? He had an outstanding year last year, and for him to back it up this year again was terrific. And yeah, to get a look at the next level and play a couple of second 11 games and do well in those is just, you know, another step forward for Ash, and we hope that he'll continue to do so.
So Luke Manders was part of that partnership before Sam Mills knocked him over. Tigers skipper Dom Matarazzo claimed the wicket of Michael Wallace shortly after. The Tigers appeared to be ahead in the game at that stage, but Manders teamed up with Harish Kannan for a 50-run stand before the latter departed after Riley Mark snuck through the defences. Manders continued past his 50 before eventually falling to Matarazzo. Kalapurtha and Shelton added some valuable runs through the middle order, and then the tail was able to wag and added some valuable runs before you were all out for 192, Will.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Manders has been terrific since joining us in round 3 or 4. He wasn't going to play at all, but we're glad that he, has. And he sort of steadied the ship for us throughout that innings, and the tail we were able to make some value runs towards the end and get us through to that total that we were able to defend.
We were able to break through early with a wicket, and it was Nathan Lambden. That bowling attack has been on song all season. He was able to get the early breakthrough for you.
Yeah. Lambie's been terrific. He's been at full fitness, which has really helped him this year. He had some struggles last year, but he's worked really hard in the pre-season to get himself in good condition, and he's gotten through unscathed thus far, and he's got the results and the rewards.
Speaking of results and rewards, you've got the leading wicket taker in the competition. Your spinner has been the star not only for your team but throughout this competition, and you guys have an existing cricket relationship. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, well, before I joined Casey, South Melbourne, I coached my local club Berwick for 3 years, and in my second year we were able to recruit Rwantha from another local club, St Mary's, and I mean he just proved his worth tenfold for Berwick, and we won a premiership there. And last year he reached out and about having a look at the next level and whether he'd be able to have a crack and go okay. And I said, there's no guarantees, mate, but I think you've got the game to do so, and that's proven true. He's been outstanding for us.
Hasn't he? How important is it when a spinner comes in that a lot of the comp hasn't seen him before?
Well, I mean, that's one thing. I mean, he's new to a lot of the batsmen that he's bowling to, but just his skill set alone. I mean, even if they had seen him, I think some would struggle with him. I mean, we know that leg spin is such a difficult art to perfect, but he goes pretty close. He's got a lot of tricks, works extremely hard at them, and he executes most times.
Now, Brayden, you guys haven't played the Swans yet this season, so have you seen any of him? Maybe just some highlights?
Well, obviously, the benefit of Frog Box. You can obviously see what he kind of does with it. But, yeah, we haven't played the Swans this year, so it'll be a really good contest with the boys, and we're really looking forward to it. Yeah,
it's going to be a huge matchup on Saturday, but let's talk about how Carlton advanced there. It was with a resounding win over St Kilda in the end at Princes Park. As we take a look at some of the highlights, the Blues won the toss and batted first at Princes Park. Well, Josh Bartlett picked up the big wicket of Mackenzie Harvey first ball, but then it was Evan Golbus, the captain coach and our guest, Brayden Stepien, who shared a quick-fire 68-run partnership before Todd Murphy dismissed Stepien for 32 from 33 balls. And Harry Smythe then joined Golbus at the crease, and the pair added another 32 before Smythe was dismissed by Simon O'Brien for 6. Golbus then teamed up with Nick Ross, adding another 70 for the fourth wicket. But just when Golbus looked destined to bring up another century, Michael Diakovo struck to remove the opener for 94, and he really deserved a ton, didn't he, captain coach? Yeah, well, when I was batting out there with him, he just had this look in the eye that he was just never going to get out. He just really had it in his eye that day, and he was unbelievable. Obviously, Gobbler's just got the class and the skill, and just showing it on a prelim, it's unbelievable, and hopefully he does it again this weekend. He is a big game player. I don't think there's any bigger game player in this competition, but any respite for the Saints bowlers was short-lived as Tom Smythe joined Nick Ross and quickly added 59 runs, Ross bringing up his 50 before being dismissed shortly after by Bartlett. Smythe and Rutland then finished the innings with a bang as Smythe reached 51 from just 36 balls to set a total of 270. Was always going to be a big score at Princes Park. Yeah, 100%. The boys at the back end did really well with Rossi and Tom there. Like, that just shows the depth of our batting at the moment. I think we didn't really score too much between 30 and 40 overs, and then we really back-ended, and I think we went at 100 at the last 10 overs. So that just shows the depth that we've got at the Blues, which is really good. Well, Golbus was first to strike with the ball, removing Diakovo without scoring. John O'Murlo joining Josh Manning at the crease, but was unable to repeat last week's heroics as Xavier Crone dismissed him for 18. When Ed Newman quickly followed Murlo back to the change rooms, the Saints were staring down the barrel at 3 for 34, but the skipper Adam Crossway and Manning set about rebuilding the innings and shared a 96-run stand. And as the run rate was climbing, a few more risks needed to be taken, and this brought about Crosswaite's downfall for 43. Manning, the top scorer, followed shortly after for a well-made 71, and Paddy Rowe departed a few overs later. At 6 for 145, the writing was on the wall for the Saints when Tom Smythe and Golbus struck in quick succession to remove Bartlett and Tom Russ. Golbus claiming the final 2 wickets fittingly to finish with a fifer and dismissed the Saints for 184. Let's talk about Evan Golbus again, because we know he'll be watching and he'll be enjoying it. But how much does his impact in big games affect and bring the energy up of the teammates?
Yeah, obviously what he's done in his career with obviously playing in Tassie and Victoria and with the Hurricanes and the Stars, that just shows the class that he's had in the past, and just bringing that back to our boys and the professionalism of our squad. It's amazing, and it's not really just on the field as well, it's more off field with what he does to the boys. He's always in touch with us, and just to check how we're going, and it's just good to have a captain and coach that puts a lot of time and effort into you.
So let's have a look at the road to grand final and how Carlton and KC South Melbourne got here. So 2 top 4 sides make it through to the last day of the season at the Albert Ground. Here we are, and it probably seems like a long time ago now, guys, that it was the first weekend of finals. Will, it's been a big couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been huge, but it seems a little bit of a lifetime ago now, doesn't it? No, we were able to get through. The big one against St Kilda. It was just a terrific experience for our guys, and first finals win for the club in 23 years at any level. So that was something to celebrate in itself. And then to get through to the next week, I think we might have dodged a little bit of a bullet by not having to play on the Sundays. A few tired boys, physically and mentally, from that game. But then to get through Richmond, which they've been outstanding and have been for a few seasons now as well. But to get through them, who subsequently we lost to Richmond through the home and away season, and St Kilda, to beat those sides on the road through was a tremendous effort, I think.
Well, Brayden, what about you guys? How important was it to win the qualifying final and then not have to play the next day?
Yeah, obviously it's good to have that little mental refreshment, that extra day. Rest is key for our players, obviously, not having to back it up, and a couple of sore and tired boys on the Tuesday, Thursday. But it was really good, obviously, to get over Melbourne. Melbourne's a pretty big side, and then coming up against St Kilda, just the weekend just gone. 2 big powerhouses, and now our focus is turned on Casey, which are a really good side. We know they've got a couple of really good match winners as well, so we're really looking forward to the challenge. And
the common thread through the finals campaign for Carlton is that you haven't played Melbourne, St Kilda and now Casey during the regular season. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? So the 3 sides we're facing in the finals, we haven't played throughout the year, so but you pretty much know most of the players that you're coming up against, because they're all quality players. So it's just a little funny stat that we've got going in this final series. All right, it is time for Player of the Round on Premier Cricket TV. No surprises, it is the Carlton captain coach Evan Golbus, Player of the Round, 94 runs and 5 for 29 against St Kilda in the preliminary final. As we take a look at his highlights, is there a bigger game performer in Premier Cricket? Brayden, I think I know what your answer is. No, I don't think so, especially after what he did when we won our last final. Obviously saw in the prelim he made the 100 and took 5 for, and then obviously the 148 not out to win the game for us. It was pretty amazing, so I'm a strong no. Will, you come up against him this week. How big is his wicket, but how important is he with the ball too?
He's extremely important, but he's not the only one, so I think it'd be remiss of us to put all our efforts into one player. Carlton have got 11 players that hold their own, but Evan's been around for a long time. His record speaks for itself. I think I even played against him before I finished my career, so that shows how good he's been over a long period of time. But certainly, he's going to be one that we're putting a bit of time into, but not the only one.
Oh, good answer, Will. I like that. The little mind games and the answers are coming to the fore in grand final week. We love to see it. Now on Premier Cricket TV, it's time for this.
I bowl, I hit, I catch, that's it. Bowling. Smashing with the bat too. Smash. Woolworths Cricket Blast is for the whole crew. I bowl, I hit, I catch, cricket.
So it is grand final week in Premier Cricket. Carlton and KC South Melbourne in the decider this Saturday at the Albert Ground. You can catch it live on KO and on the Victorian Premier Cricket Facebook page. Let's talk about grand final week. The Blues have been there before. What does it look like, Brayden? Do you stick to the usual routines?
Yeah, pretty much. All the boys, we just rock up Tuesday, Thursday and have a hit and do what we need to do and just get ourselves right. So, yeah, the boys were really good last night at training, and obviously we got another session tomorrow. But yeah, it's pretty much just top-up week for us. Everyone's done all their hard work throughout the season, so it's just pretty much get what you need to do.
So you've already won a title this season. It was the Super Slam T20 title over St Kilda at the Albert Ground as well. So does that and your previous finals experience, do you think it gives you a buffer heading into Saturday?
No, I think everything's different. Different opponent, obviously. St Kilda's a powerhouse, and then we got Casey, who have got some really good young talented cricketers coming through, and so you've got to prepare differently for different finals. So yeah, well, we're just looking forward to that challenge that Casey's going to put out, because we know they're going to come pretty hard at us, so it'll be good fun.
They sure are, Will. What's the week been like at the Swans? And with so much excitement around being through to the decider for the first time, and it's been so long between winning titles, how do you harness the excitement but also try and keep things normal?
Yeah, well, the boys have probably kept me under control this week. No, look, it's just another week. I mean, you've got to embrace the excitement. There's no way around that. So, last night was just another night for us. It's about getting through unscathed. It's about just doing what you need to do to prepare for the weekend. And the boys went about their business as usual. So really pleased with how they've handled themselves. Really pleased with the way the club's handled things. So yeah, we'll have another session tomorrow night. Expect no different. We'll do the same things. We'll train for an hour or so, have the dinner together, and watch a bit of the footy tomorrow night if it's on, and get ready for the weekend.
Now, I'm an avid follower of yours on Instagram. I like to see how you celebrate Casey South Melbourne wins. Tell us a bit about your post-game ritual, and what was your choice of that ritual after the preliminary final win on Saturday?
Are you referring to my red wine fetish?
And sometimes some chocolate?
Yes. Well, they complement each other well, I think,
yes.
Especially the dark chocolate. So, no, I enjoy my red, and I think there's no better time to enjoy a red and reflect on the day's play afterwards. So, yeah, and I might as well share that with others that are kind enough to follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, always a double tap for you, Will. How do you like to celebrate a win, Stepo? If you can, if that answer is okay for television.
No, I think it's just sitting around with the boys and just discussing pretty much how we went about it and what went really well for us, and then obviously you've still got to improve on what you need to improve on. So we just really just go over with just common conversation.
Red wine?
No red wine.
Okay.
It'll come with age, mate.
It is time now for our Kookaburra Top Knocks. We've been talking about him a lot today, and the only person that loves it more than us is him. Evan Golbus, 94 from 122 balls. A huge performance to lead his side into the grand final. And let's talk about one of the star Casey batsmen. We mentioned him before, but Luke Manders, 67 off 107 balls. He was huge again for you guys, Will. Yeah,
no, terrific. And as I said earlier, Luke joined us about round 3 after he was going to play, wasn't going to play, but again, we're super glad that he did. Hasn't played Premier Cricket for about 5 years, and everyone was talking to me about Luke Manders and how good a player he was and is, and I'd never seen him, but they keep talking about this 150 he made against Fitzroy Doncaster one day out at Casey Fields, and I'm glad he's made some other runs, because we can talk about something else rather than the 150 against Fitzroy Doncaster 5 years ago. But no, he's been terrific. He's got tremendous ability to go through the gears. He can score quickly. He can fend well. So we're looking forward to him having another big game on Saturday. He might have a grand final performance you can talk about for the next 50 years. That'd be nice. Josh Manning, well, he is a versatile player for St Kilda. He's batted up and down the order all year. He opened the batting for St Kilda against Carlton on Saturday, 71 off 98, and he looked really good, didn't he, Steppo? Yeah, he did, 100%. He's a really good player.
he just goes about his business. He's one of the ones that kind of goes under the radar for the Saints, and he just went about his business and was really good about it. So I was really happy with his innings on the weekend.
Let's take a look now at our best bowlers from preliminary final weekend. Who else but Evan Galbus, a 5 for to go with his 94, 5 for 29 from 8.5 overs against St Kilda. Steppo, is there anything else we can say about Gobbler?
Oh, no, we've spoken about him enough, I think. That just shows his class and talent, I think. We've said enough about him.
He's a star, so is Dom Matarazzo, the skipper from the Tigers, 5 for 25 from his 9.5 against Casey, and he was a threat for them with the ball, Will.
Yeah, he was very miserly and effective, wasn't he? Look, he just, as we know, he just bowls that top of, off stump, hits a length consistently, doesn't give anything away, changed the pace really well, deserved his reward.
And then our final bowler was your leggy from Casey South, Melbourne, Ruantha Galapotha, 4 for 32 from 8.5 against Richmond. Please talk a little bit more about him, because he is a star and we can't wait to see him bowl on grand final day.
Yeah, no, he is. As I said earlier, he's got all the tricks. He looked threatening with every ball on Saturday. He's got great control, great temperament. There's not too much more I can say about him, other than he's really accomplished, and he's really looking forward to Saturday as the rest of them are. Yeah,
it's going to be awesome to see him with ball in hand at the Albert Ground on the final day of the summer. Now, the umpires are crucial to our game. We love what they do. We're going to find a little bit more about one of them now.
My name is Eloise Sheridan, and I have been a teacher for over 10 years. I'm also an umpire. I love it because I get the best seat in the house to some of the world's best cricketers. My favourite experience so far has been umpiring international cricket and making both my T20 and ODI debuts in women's cricket. I was also really fortunate enough to be part of the WBBL 06 final with Claire Folliser.
Eloise Sheridan there, loving her work, looking forward to seeing her upcoming officiating. Let's take a look at the fixture spotlight now, the first 11 grand final. We've all been waiting for this. It is Carlton and Casey South Melbourne at the Albert Ground. It is going to be a wonderful day of cricket at the Albert Ground. Of course, we had the Super Slam final and the Women's Premier First 11 final at the Albert this season, and it's been a wonderful spectacle, and what a ground to be playing at, Steppo.
Yeah, unbelievable facilities there, especially when they've done up the club rooms there. It's absolute spectacle there. So really looking forward to getting out there, and hopefully Glenn, the curator there, has put up a nice wicket for us.
What are you expecting from the wicket, Will?
Well, it's usually a good one, isn't it? So I wouldn't expect anything less from the Albert. We're looking forward to getting there. A lot of our players have never played there. We didn't get to play there this year or last year. Haven't been back since they've done the rooms. I haven't been back there in a long time. So looking forward to getting back there. It was always a pleasure and a privilege to play at the Albert. I'm sure this weekend will be no different.
Oh, it's going to be glorious. We cannot wait. Let's take a look at the other grand finals this weekend. A huge weekend of Premier Cricket. In the second 11, it's St Kilda and Richmond at the City Power Centre. In the thirds, it's Melbourne and Paran out at Beaumaris. And then in the fourth, we've got Paran taking on Frankston Peninsula, and some huge games coming up there. But we haven't got any more Casey or Carlton in action here. So no appearances from the lower grades guys, but you'll be waving the flag in the first 11. We might take a look at the road to the finals. For the first 11 grand final, as we know, finally we are here. It is Carlton and Casey South Melbourne on Saturday. We can't wait. We might finish off by putting you guys under the pump. Steppo, why will Carlton win on Saturday?
Yeah, right. I just feel like we've got a lot of talent. Like our list can bat all the way down to 11 with Eddie O'Sullivan down there holding the stick, and just our bowlers. I think we've got really crafty bowlers. Eddie's top notch with the spin there. Then you got Tom going the other way. Cam Stevens is bowling absolute rockets at the moment, which is not fun facing every Tuesday, Thursday. And then you got the class of Crony and Evan Galbus as well. So, and Connor Rutland actually has picked up his load for the past few weeks with bat and ball, and he's probably the main one to look out for this weekend because he's absolutely smacking them.
So Carlton, obviously for you, who wins the John Scholes medal?
Wouldn't surprise me if Nick Ross gets there with a little late cameo there. So I would like to say Gobbler, but we've spoken about him too much.
Yeah, we have. Okay, Will, why do your Swans win the grand final and make some history on Saturday?
Oh, well, I think if we'll give ourselves the best opportunity if everyone contributes as they have been throughout the season. And we've spoken a little about Rwantha and a little bit about Manders, but we've had great contributions from all our players throughout the year. So I think if we get those contributions on Saturday, that'll put us in the best position to give us success.
So Casey Wynn, who wins the John Scholes medal for man of the match?
Oh dear. Well, it could be any one of our guys the way they've been playing this year, but it'd be nice and fitting for Michael Wallace, the skipper, who's been outstanding in his leadership this year. It'd be nice for him to take it home.
Well, it's been so nice to have you both at the desk on Grand Final week. Brayden Stepien from the Blues, Will Carr, coach of Casey South Melbourne. Good luck to you guys on Saturday. We can't wait for the Grand Final and you can catch it right here on KO. We'll be back next week to wrap up all of the action. See you then.